I nearly lost my streak yesterday.
That's quite a dramatic way to start. What happened?
Alright, picture this. It's late. I'm brushing my teeth, half asleep already, thinking about absolutely nothing. Then suddenly, I check the time. 11:56.
Oh no.
Exactly. The kind of time where your brain immediately goes, right, everything is ruined.
Let me guess. The green owl paid you a visit again.
Honestly, I don't even think about it as an owl anymore. It feels more like a manager checking whether I've done my work.
That's slightly concerning.
So there I was, toothbrush in one hand, phone in the other, opening Duolingo like my life depended on it.
This isn't language learning anymore. This is emergency response training.
The worst part is, I wasn't thinking about English at all. Not once.
What were you thinking then?
Protect the streak. That's it. Just protect the streak.
That's funny because I think loads of people do that. At some point, the streak quietly becomes the mission.
Here's the embarrassing bit though. I finished the lesson in about, maybe 90 seconds?
90 seconds? What did you learn?
That's exactly the problem. I don't remember.
Ouch.
Finished the lesson, got the little celebration sound, closed the app, felt relieved, went back to brushing my teeth.
That's fascinating though, isn't it? Because relief usually comes after finishing something difficult.
Exactly. Except clicking a few buttons isn't difficult.
No, but keeping something going every day is difficult. Maybe that's the difference.
Maybe, because I do use it every day. Well, almost every day. It's become part of my routine now. Wake up, coffee, emails, Duolingo somewhere in between.
Which, to be fair, isn't a bad thing. A lot of people struggle to keep up with anything consistently.
That's true. 5 minutes feels manageable. Sitting down with grammar books for an hour sounds exhausting.
That's probably why language apps work. They create low-pressure practice. You don't feel like you're studying.
Funny thing is, sometimes I open it without even deciding to. My hand just does it.
Out of habit?
Completely. Which is slightly worrying now that I say it out loud.
Humans are odd, though. Give us notifications, numbers, and progress bars, and suddenly we're emotionally invested.
Please don't say emotionally invested. That makes it sound serious.
You opened an app at 11:56 while brushing your teeth. I think we're already there.
Fair enough. But now I'm curious, actually. If so many people feel stressed about missing one day, why does language learning sometimes feel more stressful than learning?
That's the interesting bit, isn't it? Because maybe the question isn't whether Duolingo works.
Then what is it?
Maybe the real question is this. If we're using it every day, what exactly are we getting better at? You know what? Before we accidentally turn this into 30 minutes of bullying an owl, we should probably be fair.
That's fair. Because despite everything I just said, I still opened it yesterday, didn't I?
Which sort of proves the point already. People don't use something every day unless it gives them something useful.
Here's what I like about it. It asks very little from me.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I mean, if someone tells me, sit down for an hour and study English, my brain immediately wants a nap.
Fair reaction.
5 minutes though? 5 minutes feels possible, even on bad days.
That's probably one of the smartest things apps like Duolingo do. They remove friction.
Remove friction sounds very technical.
All right then, they make starting less annoying.
That's much better.
Think about it though. Learning a language isn't usually difficult because people don't know what to do. It's difficult because people stop.
Oof, that's painfully true. I used to do this thing where I'd buy notebooks, download PDFs, watch 10 videos about study methods, and then somehow never actually study.
Ah yes, productive procrastination.
That's exactly what it was. At least with Duolingo, I open it and something happens immediately.
Which helps people build a habit. Tiny actions repeated often usually beat huge plans that last 3 days.
Speaking of habits, something slightly embarrassing happened last month.
Go on.
My phone battery died, and my first thought wasn't, oh no, I can't message people. It was, wait, what about my streak?
You're proving our point again.
Look, I'm not proud of it.
Numbers do strange things to people though. Points, levels, streaks, little sounds when you get answers right.
The sound effects work, by the way.
You like them?
Not like. Need. Different problem.
Fair enough. Although, jokes aside, those little rewards matter. Because language learning takes ages.
That's true, actually. You rarely wake up and suddenly think, wow, my English improved overnight.
Exactly. Progress is usually invisible, which means people quit because they feel stuck.
Whereas apps give you something visible.
Points going up, levels increasing, daily goals completed. Suddenly, your brain goes, nice, we did something.
Which honestly feels nice in the moment.
There's another thing people forget too. Immediate feedback matters.
Oh, definitely.
Imagine doing exercises for 30 minutes and nobody tells you whether you're right or wrong. That's exhausting.
At least apps go, correct. Or sometimes, nope, try again.
Which helps people stay consistent because they feel progress happening.
Funny thing is, listening to us now, Duolingo actually sounds pretty good.
I think it is good, just maybe not for every single thing people expect it to do.
I think I know where we're going next.
Because liking an app and becoming fluent aren't necessarily the same conversation.
Something slightly painful happened to me recently.
That's never a reassuring way to begin a sentence.
I finished my Duolingo lesson in the morning, felt brilliant about myself, thought, nice, productive day already.
Confident, dangerous. Continue.
Then, later that afternoon, somebody asked me a very normal question.
What question?
What have you been doing recently?
That is a normal question.
I know, that's what makes it worse, because suddenly my brain completely froze. Not because I didn't know English, I just couldn't move the words around.
That moment.
You know the one?
Painfully well.
This is the weird part though. If somebody showed me the words individually, I'd recognize almost all of them. Recently, work, weekend, projects. Fine, no problem.
Yet turning them into sentences feels completely different.
Exactly, which makes no sense to me.
Let me put it this way. Recognizing words and producing language are cousins, not twins.
That sounds suspiciously like something you've said before.
Probably because it's true. Think about it. If I show you someone's face, recognizing them is easy.
Sure.
Now imagine I ask you to draw their face from memory.
Absolutely not.
Language works a bit like that. Recognition is easier because the information is already there. Production means creating something from almost nothing.
So when people say, I know the word but can't say it, that's normal?
Very normal. Slightly annoying, but normal.
That's funny because sometimes I finish lessons and genuinely feel like I've learned loads.
You probably did learn something. The problem is assuming recognition automatically becomes speaking.
Which explains why real conversations feel unfair sometimes.
Real conversations are deeply unfair.
Thank you, very encouraging.
No, hear me out. Apps are usually predictable.
True.
You know roughly how fast the audio will be. You know the answer exists somewhere on the screen. You know you'll probably get another chance if you miss something.
Real people, unfortunately, don't come with subtitles.
Or replay buttons.
That would be useful though.
Another awkward truth. Real conversations are messy.
Messy is the perfect word.
People interrupt each other. Someone speaks too quickly. Somebody mumbles. Internet connection disappears halfway through a sentence.
You suddenly hear, "What have you been?" and then robotic noises.
Exactly that.
Here's something I've noticed too. When I do exercises, I feel calm. When somebody asks me something unexpectedly, my brain starts producing noises instead of words.
Ah, yes. The classic phase.
Followed by and then silence.
Which is completely normal, because now you're producing language on the spot.
This is making me wonder something uncomfortable.
Go on.
If I open an app every day, complete lessons every day, feel productive every day, is it possible I'm sometimes just going through the motions?
Sometimes? Probably. Everyone does it occasionally. Although I'd say this is where people get confused. The comfort zone isn't necessarily bad. Staying there forever might be.
So the owl wasn't lying to me, just perhaps not telling the whole story.
That's a much kinder way of putting it. Let me give you a situation. You're in a supermarket. You ask somebody where something is. Simple enough. Then an older bloke answers at full speed, and suddenly your entire personality disappears.
Why is this painfully specific?
Because it's happened to me. More than once, actually.
What did they say?
That's the issue. I have absolutely no idea.
Brilliant.
Here's the embarrassing bit. While they're talking, your brain starts doing calculations.
Oh no.
Was that left? Did he say aisle? Why is he mumbling? Was that even English?
Meanwhile, they're already halfway through the next sentence.
Then comes the classic survival response.
Smile and nod?
Smile and nod.
Works surprisingly often. That's probably the weirdest thing about real English, though. App English feels so clean.
Clean is a good word.
Nice pronunciation, nice speed, nice quiet background. Nobody interrupts anyone.
Nobody talks over you either.
That's true. Real conversations are chaotic.
Think about normal conversations. People stop halfway through sentences. They change direction. They forget words.
Sometimes they start one sentence and somehow end somewhere completely different.
Which is surprisingly human.
Something else hit me recently, actually.
Go on.
When app voices speak, I usually understand. Then I watch a show and suddenly I feel like I've never studied English before.
Welcome to accents.
Nobody warned me there would be this many.
That's because English isn't one voice.
Sometimes I hear someone speak and think, right, this sounds familiar. Other times I genuinely wonder if we've switched languages.
Here's another thing apps can't really give you. Curveballs.
Ah yes, the random question attack.
Somebody asks something unexpected, and suddenly you need language immediately, on the spot.
That's when all the confidence disappears.
Not because you know nothing, because your brain suddenly has too much to do.
Listen, understand, think, respond, smile, panic slightly.
That order sounds about right.
Here's a question then. If real conversations are this messy, why do we spend so much time only practicing the clean version?
Because messy is uncomfortable.
Fair point.
People like comfort zones. Everyone does. Apps are safe, predictable. You know roughly what's coming next.
Real life basically grabs you and throws you into the deep end.
Pretty much.
You know what's funny though? Most of my memorable English moments weren't comfortable at all.
Such as?
Misunderstanding somebody, asking them to repeat things 3 times, using the wrong word completely.
Painful at the time, useful later.
Which is annoying because I wanted a more convenient answer.
Most language learning advice is annoying, if we're honest.
Maybe the problem isn't apps then.
I don't think so. Perhaps the issue is believing app English and real-life English are the same environment. Although learning how to go with the flow when things become messy, that's probably where things start getting interesting.
Alright then, if apps aren't the villain, and real-life English is a beautiful mess, what are people actually supposed to do?
I like how you've turned this into a crisis.
Well, somebody listening right now is probably thinking, great, now I'm confused.
Fair enough. Let's make life slightly easier then. One thing I wish more learners understood is that language learning isn't usually one activity. It's more like an ecosystem.
Ecosystem sounds fancy.
It sounds fancy because it is.
Go on then.
Most people spend ages looking for the perfect app, the perfect book, or the perfect method.
Guilty.
The awkward truth is that progress usually comes from combining different things.
Meaning
Listening, reading, speaking, and seeing the language in different situations.
Which sounds much less exciting than finding a magic shortcut.
Unfortunately, language learning has a terrible shortage of magic shortcuts.
Something changed for me when I stopped treating English as a subject and started treating it as background noise.
That's interesting.
I used to think every minute had to be study time. Now I'll put on a podcast while cooking or listen to something while walking.
That's exposure.
It feels less serious somehow.
which is exactly why it works for many people. The language becomes part of daily life rather than a special event.
Looking back, I think I underestimated listening.
Most people do.
I wanted to speak better, so naturally, I focus on speaking.
Yet speaking is often built on thousands of hours of listening.
Which sounds unfair.
Language isn't famous for being fair.
That's becoming a theme today.
Another thing people avoid is speaking before they feel ready.
The classic, I'll start speaking when my English gets better.
Which sounds reasonable until you realise everyone says it.
I spent years saying it.
The strange part is that speaking is often what helps your English get better in the first place.
That's annoyingly logical.
Nobody enjoys making mistakes.
Especially when someone is watching.
Yet mistakes are usually evidence that you're actually using the language.
That's a healthier way of looking at it. Something else I've noticed. Certain words seem to follow me around.
What do you mean?
I'll learn a word somewhere, then hear it in a podcast, then see it in a video, then read it again 2 days later.
That's exactly how words tend to stick.
Not from seeing it once?
I wish. Repetition is much less glamorous than people want it to be.
So if I hear the same phrase 20 times, that's actually useful?
Very useful. Your brain gradually starts recognizing patterns without you forcing it.
That sounds a bit like how children learn.
There's a reason people make that comparison.
Which brings us back to the owl.
Everything eventually comes back to the owl.
So where does Duolingo fit into all this then?
Personally, I treat it as a supplement.
Not the whole system?
Definitely not. Useful? Absolutely. Enough on its own? Probably not.
So it's more like a snack than a full meal.
That's probably the best comparison we've made all episode.
Which is slightly unfortunate because now I'm hungry.
Missing the point completely.
No, I get it. Use the app, keep the habit. But don't stop there.
That's the idea. Immerse yourself a little more. Find some real-life practice. Listen widely. Speak badly if you have to. Then, roll with it.
I quite like that. Speak badly if you have to.
Most people are waiting to sound good before they begin.
Which might be why they never really begin. You know, after everything we've talked about today, I feel slightly better about my streak obsession.
Only slightly?
All right, maybe more than slightly.
Progress. We'll take it.
One thing I keep thinking about is that phrase you used earlier, comfort zone.
It's a useful one.
Mostly because I spend quite a lot of time in mine.
Most people do.
So let's give everyone a useful phrase before we disappear for the week.
Good idea.
What's the phrase then?
Step out of your comfort zone.
Which sounds terrifying.
It does, but people use it all the time. It simply means doing something that feels slightly uncomfortable because that's often where growth happens.
Such as actually speaking English instead of just thinking about speaking English.
That would be a good start.
Another phrase I quite like is boot up.
That's a good one.
People usually use it for technology, right?
Originally, yes. You boot up a computer. You boot up a device.
Although these days, I sometimes tell myself, come on, boot up your brain.
That's surprisingly relatable.
Especially on Monday mornings.
Or before your first coffee.
Speaking of coffee, we should probably mention another useful expression.
I think I know where this is going.
Fancy a cuppa?
There it is.
It's one of those phrases that sounds very simple, but you hear it everywhere.
Which is another reminder that real English often isn't complicated. Most conversations aren't built from impressive vocabulary. They're built from useful vocabulary.
Looking back at today's discussion, I think that's what surprised me most.
How so?
I started the episode thinking we were going to talk about an app.
And we ended up talking about habits, confidence, comfort zones, and real conversations.
Which probably tells us something.
I'd say so. The problem isn't usually the tool itself. More often than not, it's how we use it.
Duolingo can help. Podcasts can help. Videos can help. Language exchanges can help. None of them are magic. We do like magic shortcuts.
Humans have always liked shortcuts.
Before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. What's your relationship with Duolingo these days?
Are you happily maintaining a streak? Or are you opening the app at 11:58 like Casey?
Please don't make me sound like a cautionary tale.
No promises.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it with someone who's learning English too.
It genuinely helps us keep making episodes like this.
As for next week, we've got another topic that I think a lot of learners will recognize themselves in.
We're not giving away too much just yet.
A little mystery never hurts.
Until then, keep learning, keep listening, and don't be too hard on yourself.
Thanks for spending part of your day with us.
We'll see you next time.